Alright, man, we lit, we live. You want me to shut the door back? Yeah. Alright. We lit, we live. Let's see who pull up and put it in park, man. We lit, we live. I'm about to eat this pomelo. That sounded kind of great. Let's see who pull up and put it in park, man. Prayers up, blessings up. See who pull up. Cheesy bread, what they do, man. Ebony, what's good, Queen? V Brown, what's poppin'? Dylan, what's poppin'? Jones, what's good, man? Prayers up, blessings up. My name's Jabez Israel. Look, you know I always be saying prayers up, blessings up. Look, this is a prayers up, blessings up t-shirt. I had this made custom with the gold stitch. This thing lit. If you like the prayers up, blessings up t-shirt, drop some prayers up, blessings up. Drop some prayers up, blessings up in the comments, man. Let's see who pull up and put it in park, man. So anyways, I'm about to eat this pomelo, right? So it's pomelo season. If you've never heard of a pomelo, drop a 4 in the comments, man. Dinner, what they do, man. Just came from, oh man, that's live. Yeah, I'm live on this the gram right here, then I'm live on YouTube right here. I see the 4. James, what's good? Yeah, if you've never seen a pomelo, drop some 4s in the comments. I'm live on my backup TikTok right here, and I'm live on my main TikTok page right here. Look, you can see right here. I'm going live on 4 phones. This is how I'm doing it now, man. I had caught the vibe to do this the other day. I'm like, man, I'm finna go live on 4 phones. Shout out my brother Amir Towns. You know, I met him when I was doing business loans, business to business, and he raw, man. You know, he's been making, you know, upper 6 figures doing business loans. And he told me one time, because I was like, man, how you get so many deals? And he was like, bro, it's marketing. But I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, bro, to be real with you, mate, he's like, I just think, how can I get in front of more people? Like, you just got to get in front of people, bro. Don't overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? Look up ways to get in front of people. Think about ways to get in front of people. So that's what I'm doing, man. Shout out to Amir Towns. He the one told me about this. I'm trying to get in front of y'all, man. Anyways, I was asking y'all about the pomelo, right? I appreciate that, Trey. I appreciate that. Trey say, love your teachings. I'm just doing my best to bring value. So this is a pomelo, right? Oh, aloha from Hawaii. Laura, what's popping? That's live, man. I want to go to Hawaii one day. So the pomelo fruit, it looked like a grapefruit, right? But it tastes way better to me. And they're in season now. They big like this. You see how big it is. This is huge. And it's so good. So I'm about to eat this. And what I wanted to talk about on this live is what happened for me. Because, you know, my name's Jabez Israel. If you don't know me, I wrote this book called Life Matters, So Let's Eat Like It. Because I got a goal to help over 1 million people get down to their natural body size and stay there for life. Because I lost 100 pounds. This was me in 2014. You know, I was 260 pounds. And I lost the weight still eating the food that I like to eat. And so when I was contemplating, because I wanted to write a book, just going back to the year 2020, and I was contemplating what to write it about, I'm glad I decided to write it on helping people lose weight, because I was able to lose the weight, but I did it still eating what I liked. You know what I mean? I wasn't ready to give up. Matter of fact, in 2014, I thought that, like meat is where I got my protein, and I believe that it was part of a balanced diet. I believe that humans are like what they call the omnivores, like we're supposed to eat animals and like a balanced diet of animals and like fruits and vegetables and grains. And that's what I believed. And I believed that I needed, a dairy. Like in school, y'all remember in school, the food pyramid? Drop some 4s in the comments if y'all remember the food pyramid in school. It was like It was a pyramid. Like on the bottom, it was like grains. I don't remember the order, but it was like grains, and it had meat, and then it had like vegetables and fruits, and it had dairy on there. Y'all remember it? DJ, what they do, man? What they do? I see y'all. Lights, what's good? Novel, what's good? Okay, James, y'all remember that food pyramid. So when I was in school, that's how I, and then like my grandma and my dad, they the ones taught me how to cook. And they taught me that a balanced meal was a meat, a vegetable, and a starch. So that was my understanding of food. And so the point I'm trying to make is when I was 100 pounds overweight and I knew that I needed to make some changes, it wasn't even like an option in my mind to stop eating animal, because I've seen people lose weight and they were still eating meat. So I was like, I'm not finna do that. I didn't agree with like vegetarianism and fruitarianism and all that. I thought that it just wasn't that healthy. But my mind frame has shifted since then. So in 2014, I came into, I made a choice to never eat fast food again. And on this live, I want to be talking about, I want to kind of get into like raw foods compared to cooked foods. But I just want to give some context for anybody that, got a goal to lose weight. Let me ask y'all a question on this live. We got, a nice amount of people on all the platforms. Let me ask y'all a question. Anybody that has a goal to lose weight, that want to shed some weight, drop some 4s in the comments. Let me see who on this live that I can help, because really that's what this live is about. I'm trying to talk to people that want to lose weight. Who got to go? If you got to go to lose, shalom, Nia, what they do? I see you, Queen. AJ, what's good? I see y'all. Friends, what they do? Okay. 4, I'm a diabetic. Shout out my brother Yaki. I highly suggest studying Yaki for the health issues. This is a weight loss conversation. I like to stay in my lane. I see y'all the 4s dropping, man. Whoa, what they do, man. Warren, what's good? Okay, so check it out. I'll never forget when I seen, it was a documentary called Super Size Me. And I talk about this in my book. I'm actually doing a 50% off sale on my book till midnight tonight. We celebrate it, man. Shout out everybody on YouTube that's been checking on our page, and all those people that subscribed. It's a trip, man. We in the last probably 2 weeks, we all the way up to like 230,000 subscribers. It blew my mind. I've never had so much. Besides my first TikTok page, we blew up real quick on TikTok, but I don't even think it was this quick. YouTube went crazy the last 10 days. I just been posting shorts, and a lot of them is old. Like I've been posting these on my other platforms, and it went up, man. And so it's like I got a different audience, and there's a lot more engagement going on YouTube, and I think it's super dope. But so to celebrate what we're doing for the 200,000 subscribers, we're doing a 50% off sale till midnight tonight. So if anybody want to grab a copy, I got the discount link underneath my profile picture on all platforms. So there's that. You'll see the discount on the checkout page. But here's the deal, right? It was probably like early 2000s. It might have been like 2006. I seen a documentary called Super Size Me, right? And it was a documentary about this dude that went to McDonald's, and all he ate was supersized meals at McDonald's for a month, and he gained like 20 pounds in 30 days. Back in the days, you could supersize the McDonald's meals for like $1.50 more, like $2 more, and they'll give you a thing of French fries like this. I used to split a meal. We'll get like a Big Mac supersized meal with and they'll give you a soda like this. And we'll get the big French fries and the soda, and then split the Big Mac in half. And you feel me? Like we'll stretch one meal into 2. You feel me? But I'm sorry if I'm missing any questions. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the questions in a second, but I wanted to line this up to make this live make sense. So that documentary, for some reason, I never really thought about how unhealthy fast food was growing up. It was just like a cheap food, and it tastes. As a kid, I liked fast food. So it was like when I seen that documentary, I mean, I had an idea it wasn't the best thing for me to be eating, but it wasn't like, I wasn't really aware how bad it was. That documentary shocked me. And it was to the point where, and it shocked a lot of people to the point where after that documentary came out, McDonald's stopped supersizing meals. That's why you don't see supersized meals anymore. But anyway, so when I seen that documentary, I was like, okay, I need to stop eating fast food. You know what I mean? But I didn't though. That's the thing. Like, matter of fact, I started eating more fast food throughout the years. So years went by, and it got to the point where I was 100 pounds overweight. You know, and it got me to this point, and this is like 2014. So, I mean, I was eating fast food sometimes 7 days a week, and so in my mind, because when I reflect on my life, I think that it was in my mind that it was all fast food fault, because I seen that documentary and I knew how much fast food I was eating. So I figured I knew why I was getting overweight. It was the fast food. So in 2014, it was a night when I was at rock bottom, and I actually talk about it in my book. And I made a permanent choice to never eat fast food again, right? And I stopped. And from just making that choice, if you got a goal to lose weight, listen to what I'm saying. From just making that choice, I lost around 30 pounds over a period of maybe 4 months. 30 to 40 pounds. I mean, 20 to 30 pounds. It was in that range. But it came off relatively quickly. But like it definitely wasn't over 6 months that I was down 30. And so I figured that I cracked the code. All I had to do was just stop eating fast food. And I was still eating what I liked. I was still eating burgers. I was still eating French fries. I just wasn't eating them from fast food places. I would either make them myself, or I would go to a sit-down restaurant, or I would, if I want to, I would make sandwiches, or I cook my own dinner. You feel me? I just wouldn't eat fast food. I stopped fast food. And so I went from 260 to around 230, and then I stopped losing weight. And then I was like 6 months passed, maybe more than that. And I did not lose another pound, and I did not eat another fast food meal. So then I started to get discouraged. I knew, and this is why I talk about mindset, because in my mind, I thought I knew something, but I didn't really know what I thought I knew. I thought that it was all the fast food fault. So I started to like get discouraged, and then I never forget the day when I watched another documentary, man. This was in 2014. Me and my wife and our kids, we was living in the Pine Island projects, right? And look at this Pomelo, right? So this is how the Pomelo look. This thing is big. Watch how it look when I open it up. If you never had a Pomelo, man, drop a 4 in the comments, man. Drop a 4 if you've never had one of these. This is a Pomelo. Look at this thing. This thing almost as big as my face. Look. I see the 4s dropping shine. What they do. Trust me when I tell you this. So this is how I eat them, right? It's like a thick skin that's around the flesh part. This is the flesh. A Pomelo tastes like a grapefruit, but sweeter. That's the best way I could explain it. And the consistency is like, because you see how big these fibers are? It's just like grapefruit, but these fibers are so much bigger, and they're like full of like sweet water. Like, I love these, dog. They're gonna be around in Miami for probably about 2 months. That's how it was last year. Last year was the first time I ever ate one of these Pomelos. I seen it, and I was like, "What is that? What is that? A GMO grapefruit?" I'm like, "What they making grapefruit like steroid grapefruits?" I'm like, "What is that?" And then I looked, and so I was like, "Man, I know they ain't making grapefruits like this, man." And I looked at it, and it said it was a Pomelo, and I went to looking it up online, and it's a fruit called a Pomelo. I think they originated in South America. But when I was like, let me grab one of these things, man. I grabbed it. I tried it, and I was like, my God. It's definitely my top 5 fruits. On any given day, it could be number one, depending on what I'm in the mood for. But I'm getting off topic. So, because we're talking about weight loss, I want to start answering some questions in a minute. But, so, where was I? Okay, I watched another documentary. It was one day like, my wife went to work. You know what I mean? It was a dark period of my life, I'm gonna be honest with you. And like my money slowed down, and the way I was making money, everything stopped, and I was like kind of in between money, and I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do next, and I was stressed out, and I was trying to decide what I was gonna do that day. It was something about this day, man. I had planned on going to work, and you feel like going out and like, you know, grinding. Just basically, when I say go to work, I was gonna go hustle or whatever. So it was on my mind to do that, and then I changed my mind. I'm like, man, something just told me to chill. I was like, I'm finna just chill and think. You feel me? I had some trees. I rolled up. I remember I went across the street and I got a 4-pack of beers from the gas station across the street. We was living in the Pine Island Projects in Naranja, right? In Miami, down south. And so I came back to the house. We had just switched from Comcast to AT&T, our cable service. You know what I mean? So I was learning the remote control, because you know how every cable platform, it got like a different look to it or whatever. So I was like going through AT&T, like learning how AT&T was set up compared to Comcast or whatever. So they had a section for documentaries. So I went to the documentary section. Then they had a section, something popped up about the food industry. So I was like, let me watch this. So I'm watching this documentary, right? And it go to breaking down what enriched food is. I talk about enriched food all the time because I know how much it can help people. Just this one piece of awareness, if you got to go to lose weight, is going to help you lose weight. It was probably 40% of my body weight that was overweight. It was all because of it. I was eating enriched foods. Let me ask y'all a question, because there's always new people on lives, and I talk about this a lot. Let me see who I can help today. It wasn't Food Inc., man. And that's why I actually mentioned it in my book. I don't remember the name of this documentary. I didn't even watch the whole thing. Once it got done talking about the enriched foods, I went and I checked to see what I was eating that was enriched. I'm about to explain what enriched food is in a second, right? I want to know what this documentary... People been sending me documentary names. I don't know it when I see it. I'm to the point where I almost think it got shelved or something. I don't know what happened to it. But the point is, right, okay, they went to talking about enriched foods, right? If you don't know what enriched food is, drop a 4 in the comment. If you don't know what enriched food is, drop a 4 in the comment. Y'all do me a favor, tap the screen. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, tap the screen. If you ever got any value from anything I've ever said, if you catching any type of vibes, tap the screen, because what that does, it boosts up the algorithm. Send this video to somebody that you know want to lose weight, because I'm about to start answering weight loss questions. Like I said, I got to go to help over 1 million people get down to their natural body size and stay there for life. So we chopping it up. So hold on. So, okay, I see the 4s dropping. If you don't know what enriched food is, drop a 4 in the comment. Bambi, what they do, man? DOE, what's good? Okay. Jackie, I see you. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, so what I'm about to explain it, right? So everybody that put a 4, if you don't know what enriched food is and you're trying to lose some weight, I'm about to give you some game right now that's going to change your life. All you got to do is put it to practice and you'll see. So enriched food, everybody's heard about processed foods. Everybody know about the processed foods. I didn't know that enriched food is a process. The enrichment process is a specific process that fit into the processed food categories. The foods that can be put through the enrichment process are grains. Grains can be enriched. And I used to always see it I used to see enriched on rice and flour. I remember seeing it on rice and flour, and I always thought that it just meant it was like made better. Like enriched to me sound good. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I be talking about the slick advertisements too, like the slick marketing tactics. That's slick. Enriched sounds better. So anyway, what the enrichment process is a process where every grain got a germ in. It's called a germ, or some people call it the fiber of the grain. There's natural nutrients inside the germ of a grain. That's the part of the grain that can spoil and go bad. That's also the part of the grain that has the most energy that our body's compatible with. So the enrichment process is a process. You could look it up. It's public information, the process of enriching grains. But it's a process where chemical and such, the germ is lost. The germ is removed from the grain. And then they add, which have, B vitamins, natural nutrients, and things like that with inside the germ of that grain. They remove it. Because, like I said, that's the part of the grain that can spoil. So they remove it, and then they add synthetic nutrients to replace the natural nutrients that were lost during the enrichment process. This is where they say it's fortified, and they're just adding minerals to replace the ones that were lost during the processing, which makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So the problem is, though, those synthetic nutrients, B vitamins and things like this, they've been extracted from something, brought down to a process of chemistry, down to a powder form. Okay, so rice can be enriched and flour can be enriched, right? Also corn, like cornmeal, grits, these things can be enriched, right? So to the flour, they isolate and extract these B vitamins and things like this, riboflavin, folic acid, these type of things, and they bring it down to a powder form, and then they add that to the flour. And with rice, they bring the same process. They extract it. They don't have to tell you where they extracted it from either. That's another thing. When you see these names, let me show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Because you might be like me. You might be a visual learner. I'm a visual learner. I like to see things to make it make sense. This is an example of what I'm talking about. This is flour right here. So this can be enriched. All right. So this is the, all-purpose flour. This is the flour that I grew up on. And you see right here, it's a bleached, enriched flour. See right there, it say bleached, enriched. Bleached, enriched. All right. So once you see that enriched word, if you're trying to lose weight, don't eat it. Now, let me explain why. So, and how you identify if something is enriched, you want to look all over the pack and then read the ingredients. In the ingredients, it says bleached wheat flour. That's the first ingredient. Then it says niacin, iron, thiamine monotricate, riboflavin, folic acid. Right here. So those are the synthetic ingredients I was just talking about. One of the side effects of eating enriched grains is weight gain, because our body, there's no natural energy in this product. Our body responds to things with no natural energy differently. One thing that our body does when we consume something that doesn't have any angstroms of energy, our body turns it to fat. If it's not poison, our body turns it to fat. Because our body figuring like you must be eating anything you can get your hands on. Maybe we're going to be hibernating, or maybe we're coming up into some hard times, or maybe we're going to go on a long journey. We must be doing something. We're eating something with no energy. Let me turn this to fat, and then we could burn this fat off later for energy. That's how our body looking at it. That's how smart our bodies are, right? So when I learned that, I was like, dang, that makes sense. And I'm watching the documentary. I just seen Kimberly McNair. I just seen the order come through. Kimberly is love. Again, we're doing I break down these principles in my book. If anybody want to grab a copy, we're doing a 50% off sale to celebrate 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. Feel free to grab a copy. I got on all my pages underneath my profile picture, we got that discount link. You'll see the discount on the checkout page. All right, so here's the good news. Anything that's been enriched also has a version that isn't enriched. So here go a version. I appreciate all the love. Just Malik, what's good, man? What they do, I appreciate the love, man. This is called all-purpose flour, the same as this. Both of these are all-purpose flours. The difference is this flour, the grain, the wheat grain, wasn't put through that enrichment process. How do you know? You're gonna look all over the pack. You don't want to see the word enriched anywhere. And the most important part of the pack to read is the ingredients. That's why I'm always saying read the ingredients. All right, right here in the ingredients, you'll see organic hard red wheat flour, organic malted barley flour. That's it. As compared to an enriched product, you see bleached wheat flour, niacin, iron, thiamine, monotrisate, and riboflavin, and folic acid. Same flour, but obviously different ingredients. So I was like, so with flour, what I had to, when I seen this on the documentary and they broke it down like that, and it's the same with rice. You know, the only rice I ever seen growing up was the long grain, white, enriched rice. Just Malik, I appreciate you, King. That's the only one. That's the only one I ever seen. The long grain, white, enriched rice. And also I seen the long grain Uncle Ben's enriched parboiled rice. Them the only rices I ever seen growing up. Both of them was enriched. And so as I'm watching the documentary, I'm thinking about this, like, dang, it's saying enriched on the rice. Because I've seen the word, I just thought it meant it was good. And so then I was like, dang, I remember once they broke it down, how I'm explaining how you could identify if it's enriched by looking at the pack and looking at the ingredients. And then the good news is most grocery stores have a version that wasn't put through that process. So I was like, oh. And then when I seen it, I was like, man, I was like, I bet this why I ain't losing no more weight. Because I was just explaining how I stopped eating fast food. I lost 30 pounds. But then I stopped losing weight. I probably lost 30 pounds in between 4 and 6 months. And then I didn't lose another pound for 6 months. Deborah Scurry, I just seen the order come through. Deborah's love. So this is like 6 months later. I'm still stuck at 230 and I see this documentary. So I'm like, I bet that's why my weight stopped. And so I remember I stopped the documentary. I paused it. I went into my pantry and I looked to see what I was eating that was enriched. What blew my mind is how many different products is made with flour. I never really thought about it. Like bread is made with flour. Pasta is made with flour. Top ramen noodles is made with flour. Pancakes is made with flour. Waffles is made with flour. Toaster strudels. So I'm looking at all these different options that I have in my pantry and in my freezer. All of them was made with enriched flour. The bagels that we had was made with enriched flour. Our grits were enriched. You feel me? I remember taking everything out the pantry and setting it on the countertop, and I had a whole countertop full of products that was made with enriched grain, either it was rice or flour. Somewhere in the ingredients, I had a whole table full of the little Debbie snacks that we had was in there. We used to stay with them Edamons. Y'all know about the Edamons snacks, the Edamons? Drop a 4 in the comments if you ever heard of the Edamons. You know the Edamons, you can get them from the grocery store. They do like cakes and cookies and all that. Drop a 4 in the comment if you know about them Edamons. That used to be like the luxurious snack when we was like super hood. Like we would get them because there was like a step up from the little Debbie snacks. I see the 4s dropping. That is what they do, man. We used to stay getting the little Debbie snacks because you could get a big box of them for like $1 back in the days. For $1, you get a whole box of little Debbie snacks. We'll get like the oatmeal cream pies and the you know what I mean, like the cinnamon rolls and the Swiss rolls, and I used to like the strawberry swirls and all of that. We used to get all of that by the box. So the point I'm trying to make is I was eating a lot of enriched foods. So I was like, wow. So I remember going to the, man, this Pomelo so fire, look. So I remember going to the grocery store later on, probably the next day or something. And I remember that was when I really like started to read the ingredients. And I started to find options. I switched. The first switch I made was with my rice. I switched from the parboiled rice and the long grain white enriched rice. Again, parboiled rice is always enriched. So I switched from those rice to natural jasmine rice, basmati rice. The first switch I made was to the natural jasmine rice. And I made a switch with my flour. Then I started paying attention to my bread and the pasta. I found pasta that was made with natural flour. I found bread that was made with the natural flour. I found bagels that was made with the natural flour. So I made that switch. So I started making these switches. I was still eating what I was eating before. I was still eating pancakes. I started making my own pancakes from scratch. If I wanted pancakes, I made them from scratch. You feel me? So I just substituted the enriched grains for natural grains. And weight started coming right back off me. I went from 230, then I was like at 228. Started noticing coming out 227, 226, 220. And I'm like, yo, that was the domino that pushed over that led me to realizing the ingredients. That's when I realized it's the ingredients. It wasn't that I was eating the wrong foods. I was eating the wrong versions of foods. And I became aware through time how to identify it. That's why I wrote my book, just to make it easy to understand how anybody can make these switches. It's a book based on principles. Once you understand the principles, you can go into the grocery stores and you know the right questions to ask when you go to the restaurants to make sure you're eating basically the natural versions of foods. There's so many unnatural processed versions of food, and there's so much kind of like slickness in the way they market, especially the front of the pack. So I'm always saying read the ingredients. This is the most important part. The back of the pack or the side of the pack. And there's always going to be little tiny words. Then it's going to be like with the address and other information. Like, you feel me? You might just overlook it. CMOS plug. I don't know if that was a question. Basmati is fabulous. Pasta is made with chickpeas. Yep, that's a better substitution with the chickpeas. I don't really like the way it tastes, but that's much better. How can I buy your book? I appreciate that question. We're doing a 50% off sale during this live. Matter of fact, till midnight tonight. We're celebrating 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm tripping over the whole YouTube situation. It's a beautiful thing. But so yeah, we got the discount link underneath my profile picture. So if you want to grab a copy of the book, feel free. You know what I mean? You'll see the discount happen on the checkout page. Bro, you definitely gonna keep following you. I'm definitely gonna keep. I just learned something from you, and I'm about to buy your book. Keep spreading the knowledge. Oh man, I appreciate that for real. That's love. Only thing I ask when you buy the book to apply it. I go into this with my coaching, and we'll be going into it more. When we launch this weight loss community, we're building it out now. But I talk about it in the book too, where the whole thing is about like results. The results is all I care about. You feel me? So the only way to know if the information work is to actually apply it and then get on the scale every single day. Shanice Williams, I just seen the order come through. Shanice is love. Get on the scale every single day. In the morning and at night. After you use the bathroom in the morning and at night. And think about, what did I eat today and what did I eat yesterday? Every time you get on the scale. What did I eat today and what did I eat yesterday? It's good to food journal, especially for the first 6 months or so, because what's going to happen is, from doing that consistently, you'll be able to identify how your body responds to what you're putting in it. There's no other way to know for sure. And everybody's body is a little bit different. Everybody, you'll notice the things that put the weight on you more and take longer to come off. For example, I was just talking about the enriched food. It's good to get curious about, to understand in relation to weight, the choices that we're making in relation to what we're eating. So what I learned, because I still, in the beginning when I learned about enriched food, I made the switches, but sometimes I would still eat enriched food. Even to this day, sometimes I do. Like if I feel like pizza or something and I'm on vacation, so I might eat some pizza. Kendall Hernandez, I just seen the order come through. Kendall is love. So this is what I'm saying, right? I avoid enriched products like the plague, honestly. But every once in a while I eat them. But what I'm saying is, through my weight loss journey, I've ate them. Dennis Sharini, I just seen the order come through. Dennis is love. And this is the point that I want to make, right? When I eat them, especially when I get on the scale, I'm super aware what I just did. I know I just violated a principle, right? So now let me pay attention to my weight. And this is what I've learned. Okay. For example, a bread made with natural flour compared to a bread made with enriched flour. When I eat the bread made with the natural flour, my weight goes up. All right? It goes up. Every time I eat, my weight go up. So it goes up. But by that next day, it came off me. At the latest, depending on how much grains I ate, if I was eating it throughout the day, it'll be off me by the end of the next day. I'll be back even where I was the day before I ate it. But if I eat the enriched grains, my weight will go up. Let's say it go up a pound. The next day, it might come down 0.3 pounds. The next day after that, I might come down another 0.2. And the next day after that, I might come down another 0.3, 0.4. And I'll be back to even. It might take 2 or 3 days before I'm back even where I was before I ate it. Freddie Johnson, I just seen the order come through. Freddie is love. So when I started, because I started to peep that early on. When I came into the awareness of enriched food, I was already weighing myself every day. This is why I was getting discouraged, because I was done with the fast food. When I made the choice to stop eating fast food, I was getting on the scale every day. That's how I know my weight was coming down. So that's why I say I hope that this helped. And it's like it might have just went over somebody's head how important that part of the process is. If you really want to lose the weight and get back to your natural body size, we got to know the truth, man. How is our body responding to what we eating? I just started following you, bro. And your videos are greatly needed, brother. Thank you. Joseph, I appreciate that, man. That's love. What is that you're eating? This is a pomelo. Now, this is the part of the pomelo. The inside part, like if you notice right here, it's like a hard skin. It's like a huge grapefruit, but it tastes like a grapefruit, but sweet though. It's sweet like a sweet orange. It's like that's the best way I can say. It's like, you know how like sometimes you get an orange. Alice Allen, I just seen the order come through. Alice F. Allen, I just seen the order come through. His love, Queen. So you know how sometimes you get oranges that be super sweet and sometimes they be kind of sour? This is like, compare that to a grapefruit. Like all grapefruits are like sour and tart. This is like a sweet orange, but it's like a sweet grapefruit like that. It's the best way I can explain it. It tastes like a grapefruit, but it's sweet though. This on any given day, like right now, this is like today, this is my favorite fruit right now. This is in my top 5 for real. I love pomelos, man. They're in season right now. The only time I ever seen pomelos is when I'm in the tropics. Up north, I never seen them. If you ever see one and you never had one, they I ain't gonna lie. Every time I see them, they taxing though. You might catch one slipping at a farmer's market. You might be able to get one of these for like $5, $6, one of them. But if you see them at Publix or like Sprouts or whatever, it's gonna be like $10, $12 for one. But I grab them. I eat out this 2-3 times. These things are fire, man. Jabez, I have not weighed 138 since my early 20s. I'm in my 40s, and since following you and cutting and rich, I'm 137. Oh man, who is this? Christy. Congratulations, Christy. That's live, man. Keep us in the loop. Listen, we got our customer service email is on our website. It's brilliantmindedllc@gmail.com. Anybody that's on their journey and they're getting results, let us know. Send us a before and after picture. Send us a 30-second testimonial or something to our brilliantmindedllc@gmail.com. Keep us in the loop on your journey. You know what I mean? My wife checked the emails every single day. I check the emails. And that's live, man. Congratulations. What happened for me, right? When I started changing the way that I was eating, what happened was I started to see the results. Before I was eating better food, more natural food, how do I say this? It was like I wasn't really thinking about food like that. I was just thinking about what I had a taste for. But when I And I was looking at healthy food like, I don't like the way healthy food tastes. I'm gonna be real. Let me ask y'all a question, man. Have you ever felt like that? Like, I know I should be eating healthy, but I don't really like how it tastes, man. Drop a 4 in the comment if you ever thought that or ever said that. Like all that vegan food and all that salads and fruit and all that is all right. Like, man, I want some burgers, man. I want some French fries. You feel me? I want like pizza. You feel me? Like barbecue. Like I like flavorful food. Drop a 4 if you ever felt like healthy food don't really taste good. That's the problem. I see the 4s dropping. I see the 4. So it ain't just me. TN, what they do, man. Joseph, what they do. BL, what's good? Okay. I like snacks. Jocelyn, I'm gonna get to that. Remind me in case I get sidetracked. That was me for real. Like I was like, but see what happened was, because I forget who it was over here that just said that there was down to 137 since for the first time since their 20s and gave me props, and it was dope. I appreciate that. But I wanted to make this point. What happened was I started making changes like what I was just talking about with the enriched food, fast food, things like this. Everything that I talk about on lives and on my posts and in my book. I was getting on the scale every day and I started to see the results. Then it hit me one day when I was down probably like another 15, 20 pounds. The weight was gradually just kept coming down. I wasn't eating less. I wasn't eating different food. I wasn't just eating fruits and salads and raw foods and none of that. I was still eating rice. I was still eating bread. I was still eating sandwiches. I was still eating barbecue. I was still eating pizzas. But I was making sure that I was eating a better version, a more natural version, and I was aware. And so I was eating food that I liked, and the weight was coming off. So what happened was, over time, staying consistent, I had a transition in my mindset. It wasn't even intentional, but I remember when it hit me, I could have been doing this. And then it hit me, and I said, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. I wanted to. So my mindset, so what happened in that moment, I didn't notice it until years later when I was reflecting on it. When I wrote my book, I realized something. What happened was my mindset shifted from looking at healthy food like it's like I know I should be eating it, but I don't really like the way it tastes, to I'm eating what I like. I could do this forever. I just got to be aware. So now I'm going to always read the ingredients. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to make sure to follow my principles. And I'm still going to eat good food. This is what I want to do. I feel better. The weight coming off me. I'm excited. I feel good about it. It don't feel like a chore, like a mission compared to how it used to. When I had that mindset shift, it made it easy for me to stay consistent, which is the key. Erica Craft. I just seen the order come through. Erica is love. That's what my issue was, because my weight was going up and down for years. I would gain weight, lose it. There was a stretch in my life that I felt like, okay, I just got to exercise and eat less. I got to eat smaller portions, probably just eat once or twice a day, cut back on the snacks, cut back on the sugar. I got to get in the gym. It's time for me to work out. And I would do that, and I would lose weight. But it was kind of like I hated working out. I played sports my whole life, and to be honest, I never really wanted to, but it's like I was athletic. And my family always encouraged me to do sports, so I felt like if I didn't, I would be letting them down. So I balled. But I was always good though. Like I was real good at sports. But I didn't like it, man. I never liked going to practice and all that exercising and being in the gym and all that extra. Like I used to dread going to practice for real. I kind of like the games, but the point I'm trying to make is it was hard for me to stay consistent with the exercise. I'm just being honest. It was, you feel me? So I would work out, you feel me? Different methods that I would do, and I would lose weight. But then I would stop and the weight would come back, and then I'll go past where I was. And so, yeah, I tried diets and all that. I did the carnivore diet, the Atkins diet. I tried different things and I lost some weight, but then I didn't like the way I was feeling. Then I went back to how I was eating. I gained the weight back and gained more. And so the point I'm trying to make is I wasn't consistent. And I didn't make a permanent choice. It was usually like, deep down, I knew I wasn't going to exercise this hard every day. And then when I did make my mind up to exercise, I would usually go overboard. Like I would go extra hard for like a month. I'd be in there working out for a whole hour, just sweating buckets, like trying to get the weight off fast. So it wasn't easy for me to stay consistent. And in my opinion, when it comes to weight loss, I think it's more valuable to make a change that's easy for you to stay consistent, that's not too hard for you. Because if it's like too much of a stretch, it's hard to stay consistent. And this is the real point what I want to make, right? When I stayed consistent, I had the mindset shift, which I had the awareness. I had a aware. Demarius, I just seen the order come through. Demarius Love. I had I came into awareness. Like I came into the awareness of fast food. I came into the awareness of enriched food. I came into the awareness of the side effects of a lot of these ingredients and such on. You feel me? Like I talk about drinking alcohol and different things that I came into awareness of. When I came into the awareness, I made a choice, right? And then I stuck to that choice. I was consistent. I was paying attention to my weight. Then I had that mindset shift when I realized I was still eating what I like, but I'm eating a better version and the weight coming off me. And this is what I want to do. So then it was easy for me to stay consistent because I was doing what I wanted, being genuine. It wasn't a mission for me. It was a desire. You feel me? I went from feeling like a mission to feeling like this is lit. I'm doing this forever. That was my genuine feeling. So that's how I know I'll never get overweight again, because this is how I feel. Like, this is what I want to do. Okay, bomb. I stayed consistent. So years went by. What happened for me was my blessings keep getting better and better. It's the best way I could explain it. My energy is going up. My blessings are going up. My thought process is so much more clean and clear than it used to be. And the biggest benefit, and this is honestly why I'm so passionate about helping people lose weight. Look, with this Pomelo, remember I was telling you got the thick skin. Look at this. It's this thick skin. Like when I first bought a Pomelo, I ate this thick skin and it's like crunchy. Like I gotta peel this skin off because look, you see I'm peeling a chunk of this Pomelo off. So it's a whole layer of thick skin around the flesh. So I peel the skin off. See? And that's how I get to it. Then I just eat the inside part. I don't like this skin like this. I probably put this in my compost. The skin. But anyway, so this is honestly why I'm so passionate about helping people lose weight, though, because I'm looking forward to the type of conversations that are going to be happening that I and testimonials and people that I meet in person, and to see how many people have a similar result as what happened for me. Because in 2014, when this was me right here, right, my biggest how do I say this? The biggest challenge that I had in my life was dealing with my depression and anxiety. For real. I was depressed and I would have these anxiety attacks. I didn't never tell nobody because I didn't want to look soft or whatever. But it would come over me, man. It was like sometimes I'd shake. And I had to really focus on not shaking. Like I would feel when that anxiety hit me, it felt so crazy. Like it was so hard to control it, but I was good at hiding it. But I dealt with it, man. And let me ask y'all a question, man. We got a nice amount of people on this live right now. Anybody that's ever dealt with anxiety, drop a 4 in the comment. Drop a 4 in the comment. Let me see it. Let me see some. I'm just curious right now. This is just. Okay. I see y'all okay. Okay. I see the 4s dropping, especially on TikTok. Man. So then you got to ask yourself, right? You got to ask yourself, because that's a lot of 4s that just dropped, right? So that one good thing about it, anybody, because when I used to deal with my anxiety, I was embarrassed about it. But look at how many people dealing with the same thing. That's crazy. I never really looked at it like how I'm looking at it right now. This is like, I just had like an epiphany. Because I really was embarrassed to talk about that. And a lot of us going through the same thing, right? So check this. After stopping the fast food and the enriched food and learning how to identify processed foods and choosing more natural options, the most natural option that fit my budget is the best way I could just sum it up. You know what I mean? There's a little more to it than that, but that's pretty much it. And staying consistent. Probably 3 years in, right? I remember I had an epiphany where the thought crossed my mind, hey man, I ain't been depressed in a minute. And I was like, hold up, when the last time I felt anxiety? I'll never forget, we had moved out of the projects. In Pine Island, if anybody know Naranja, if anybody know Miami, Pine Island projects, when I'm standing, I'm 6'1". I could reach up and touch the ceiling, and my hand wasn't even all the way straight. My hand would be like this, standing up, and I touch the ceiling. And they got them grates over all the windows that got the little circle holes where you could barely see out the window. Like, I felt like I was in prison, man. Like, it was crazy. I used to, man. But we moved out of there, right? And I remember I was laying on my bed in our new place, and I remember looking at the ceiling, and I was like, my wife was in the room too. I was like, I don't even think I could jump and touch these ceilings. I was like, I don't even think I could jump and touch the ceiling. I'm like, baby, man, I'm so happy we out the project. Hold on. Who is that? Oh, okay. Yo.
Hello.
I remember I was gassed up. I'm like, man, I don't even think I was like, I don't even, well. What, you brought the bike? Huh? You brought the bike?
No.
What you need the garage open for?
Oh, because I was going to ask you if I could ride his bike.
Yeah, just ask him and then you could.
Alright.
So I was like, I don't even think I could jump and touch the ceiling. I jumped out the bed and I jumped and tried to touch it. I couldn't even touch it. And so I remember I just laid back down and I was just looking at the ceiling and I just was feeling good. And I was like, when the last time I was depressed? When was the last time I felt anxiety? And I had to really think hard. And it was like, when I remembered the time, and it was like a year had passed that I ain't feel depressed like that. I might get down or might get aggravated about something, but I was out of it within an hour. No more. You feel me? I was able to get up out of there. As in before, like I might stay depressed for weeks. You feel me? I might stay depressed for weeks. And I just remember feeling happy. And then I remember trying to remember, like, what am I doing different? Like, what, like, is it because we in a better, I remember thinking, is it because we was out the projects? I was thinking maybe that was what it was. But then I was thinking, even when I had my own place, and because it was a couple of years where I made over 100,000, and I had my own place, my own car. You feel me? I was traveling, and I was still dealing with depression and anxiety. So I was like, and then that's when it hit me. I was like, it had to be the food, man. That's when I started to really go more into my research about the ingredients, and I started to connect the dots where there's a lot of, they use verbiage like potential side effects, you feel me? But there's a lot of studies that are publicly available that explain a lot of these ingredients have psychological side effects. And just my curiosity about chemicals, and when I was running around in the street, I saw a lot of things in the street too. And I learned what was going on with that. And, you can get chemicals to alter your mindset. Everybody knows that. I mean, you can go to a liquor store and buy a chemical, a bottle of liquor, and drink that, and you know what happens. Or you can go get some trees. Now it's legal. You can smoke it, and you feel different. They got so many chemicals that have so many different side effects to where it's mind-blowing. A lot of them, they're not going to give you like a high like that where you don't really feel different, but now you're having depression. Michael Linton. I seen the order come through. Michael is love, King. Now I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling anxiety. I get these jitters and you feel me? I really believe a lot of us that's dealing with anxiety and depression, we can trace it back to the food we eat, man. I really believe that. So that's why I'm so passionate about helping people lose weight, because When I wanted to lose the weight, I'm gonna be real with you. When I was 260 pounds, when this was me, I just wanted to look better. It wasn't about, I didn't want to lose weight because I wanted to be more happy. Like I wasn't even, I didn't think like that. I didn't want to look big anymore. You feel me? I just didn't want to look big anymore, man. That's what it was. So that was my motivation, to look different. But when I reflect on it and I'm being transparent, my emotional state is not dealing with, just feeling good and grateful most of all the time is by far the biggest benefit that's happened for me. By far, man. And so that's why, you know, I got a feeling. Because remember, it took me to practice these principles for like 3 years before I realized, it was like a year went by, but that I ain't really feel depressed or anxiety. So that means I really got the results like 2 years in. So it took me for about 2 years of consistency. So I've been on my path, you know, giving out this information and selling this information for a year and a half now. So now it's like, okay, let me start to see. Now I feel like I'm getting into that time frame where the people that got on early, they're going to be 2-3 years in soon. And I don't want to see is, do other people have these same results with their emotions, man? I didn't receive my book. Do me a favor. That's what we have our customer service for. If you go to our customer service email, it's on our website. It's brilliantmindedllc@gmail.com. Let us know the name and the address that you sent that you put when you ordered. So this way we could pull up your information, get your tracking number. We can find out what happened. We'll make it right. But just email us at brilliantmindedllc@gmail.com. Again, that our customer service email is on our website. My wife check it every day. She raw, and I check it too. So we'll make sure to get that right for you. Shanice, I think I seen your name on the order. I think I did. I think I shouted you out because I got my notifications popping up on this phone. If anybody want to grab a copy of the book, feel free. We're doing a 50% off sale to celebrate 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's all love, man. We got the discount link in my profile, or on my homepage underneath my profile picture. Jasmine Reeves, I just seen the order come through as love. I mean, I wanted to go live and eat this Pomelo because I just seen it for the first time. They're back in season.
Can you say me something?
Yeah. They're back in season. These Pomelos, I'm telling you, if you like, let me tell you this. Because I remember I used to hate grapefruits. I never liked grapefruits especially when I was a kid. But then I started to love grapefruits. If you like grapefruits and you like sweet oranges, I guarantee you'll love this Pomelo. You will love these, man. My third time reading your book is so helpful. Thank you. Monica, man, that's love. That's love. Keep us in the loop on your journey, Monica, through our customer service email, brilliantmindedllc@gmail.com. Keep us in the loop, man. Feel free to reach out. It's all love. What book? So this is my book. It's called Life Matters, So Let's Eat Like It. I break down the principles of how I was able to lose 100 pounds, still eating the food that I like to eat, though. You want some?
Yeah, just a little.
Matter of fact, you want this one?
No, not the whole thing, but I'll give it to you.
So yeah, you know, we've helped thousands of people, man. We probably passed 20,000 copies. So all praise is due to the creator of all things, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. So, you know, I make it real easy to understand just how do you basically identify the right versions of whatever foods you already like. And that's why, really which brings me back to the purpose why I got on this live. What happened, right? Through my journey. Between 2014 and 2017, towards the end of 2017, I was down 80 pounds. I came into different sets of knowledge, and I was, staying consistent enough to keep my weight trending down. It didn't come off me fast. It was gradually coming off me, but it was steadily coming off me to where over a period of about 3 years, I lost 80 pounds. So now 2014 to 2017. Between 2017 and 2020, so I came down from 260 to like 185, 190. I was in that range. And I stayed there for like 3 years until 2020. In 2020, because of a series of events, I was changing. Like I was just, nothing stays the same. Everybody changes. So I was just going through change, and I started to wonder more and more, and I started to watch people like Yada. You know what I mean? Yada made me really start to question. And then I came into the awareness of Dr. Sabi. And they started to really make me question, do I really need to eat animal flesh every day like this? Then I came into the awareness, this is all in 2020. In 2020, when the pandemic hit, hey, Buddha, you'll keep it down, I'm on a live. It's all good. But in 2020, when the pandemic hit, right? I made one of the best choices of my life. I decided, because I had like 6 months of bills saved up, my money stopped because I was promoting clubs on South Beach, me and my brothers. We used to promote we used to head promoters for V Live, and like we had a party bus situation going on where we brought people to different clubs. We threw parties, and that's how we was making money. But when the pandemic hit, all the clubs closed down, so my money stopped. So I had like 6 months of bills saved up, and I was like, okay, I'm finna study. I'm finna just take myself back to school. So I took $1,500, and I remember I mapped out my plan. I took $1,500 to invest in information, and I just figured I was gonna do research for like the first month, 4 weeks. I'm just gonna study and do research, and find out what's the best investments to make with that $1,500 for information. I wanted to learn how to start making money online. I didn't like the way it felt for my money to stop like that and have to go out to get money. I had to be out and about. Like I couldn't just make money from the house. I had to go out to get the money. Putting all type of miles on my car and all, you know what I mean? So I went to doing a whole lot of research. Me and my wife made a decision that we was going to take the TV out of our room. That might have been one of my best decisions in life, to take the TV out of the room and we keep it in the front room. If we want to watch TV, we got to watch it in the front room. I took it out of the room. I was like, I'm not even watching no more TV. If I'm watching anything, I'm studying. This was in 2020, right? So through my studies, right, I went to YouTube University for real. Google and YouTube. I just was researching. But I started to come across information about cooked food and animal flesh, and how we're not supposed to be eating so much cooked food and animal flesh. And then I started to become aware of people saying we're really not even supposed to eat any cooked food. And then I came across information where it was saying there's studies on this. I mean, this is public information. Anytime a human consumes something that's been heated up past, I think it was 250 degrees. Anytime a human consumes it, it doesn't matter if it's food, it could be dope, it could be a burnt piece of wood. When you put it in your mouth, chew it up and swallow it, anything heated up past that point, one of the side effects or one of the reactions that's going to happen in our brain is it releases endorphins. It's an automatic chemical reaction. Something about the way our body's structured. So our brain released these endorphins, right? And if you do it more than, I think, 3 days in a row, what happens when you stop doing it? In about 3 hours, you start to have these feelings like your stomach gonna start feeling away, your nerves start getting bad, you know what I mean? And then when we start to feel like this, when we kids, we tell our parents like, explain how we feeling, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you hungry? Go grab something to eat." And then you go grab something to eat, and the feeling go away. Say what's up. Speak, man. Say what's up, man.
I gotta get ready.
It's my nephew Dwight, man. Yeah, you shout out, man. Dwight and our son Makai, they hang tough, man. He down here for a couple weeks. What's up?
Can you help me open this grapefruit?
No, this is the Pomelo, man.
Pomelo?
You want a piece?
What does it taste? Is it sweet?
Taste it. You like that? You want it?
You don't like it?
I love it. You see I'm smashing this thing. I'm going to eat half of it. I'm going to eat this half later. But, where was I? What I was saying?
Try some.
You want one? A piece? Do you like grapefruits?
Yeah.
For real?
I love grapefruit.
You put sugar on them?
No.
For real? I know when I was a kid, I always put sugar on my grapefruits. They weren't sweet enough. You like that? Huh? Yeah? You want more?
Oranges.
I'm telling you. Remember, that's what I told you. It's like it's a sweet grapefruit to the point where it's like a sweet orange, but it got a grapefruit taste though. These Pomelos are fire, man. If you never had a Pomelo, you need to, if you see them at the store.
See, the before taste is really good, but the aftertaste is like a little bitter. Oh, yeah.
You got a little bitter. Yeah, it got a slight, it tastes like a grapefruit, but when I was a kid, I don't know if I would have liked them. I think I would have. I love these Pomelos, man. But anyways, and what was I just talking about? Somebody remind me. I was in the middle of a thought process. I was in the middle of a thought process. I wanted to get to my conclusion. Oh, about the cooked food. Y'all do me a favor. Could y'all keep it down? Just so my mind don't get distracted. But so I was talking about the cooked food, right? So we started to get these feelings, and then we're told, you're hungry, right? Go get something to eat. 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be something cooked. It's going to be a sandwich or some chips. You know what I mean? You might go to McDonald's or something, and the feeling go away. But like I say, there's research that shows this. Those feelings are the same feelings as when people getting off like dope and alcohol, withdrawals. The feeling that we was trained. I remember when I was coming across this information, I remember just being like, the feeling that we was trained to believe is called hunger is actually withdrawals from cooked food. And I was like, that's when I went to doing my research, and I went to seeing the evidence. I seen evidence on both sides. You know, you always got that. But it made me go to thinking and being more aware of how I felt when I was eating food. So this is how I started to experiment. I was like, okay, let me just start cutting back on the cooked food and let me see what happens. Like that in 2020 was the first time I ever did a 3-day grapefruit cleanse, and I didn't eat nothing but grapefruits for 3 days. It was the first time I ever went 3 days without eating anything. I did a 3-day fast. The first time I ever did a 7-day all raw fruit and vegetable cleanse where I didn't eat nothing cooked and I just ate fruits and vegetables for 7 days, right? So I started to experiment with these things, and I was paying attention to how I felt. So this is what I noticed. And if you want to experiment with yourself, this is what you can pay attention to, and it might help you the way it helped me. I would eat something cooked, right, in the morning, and then I would wait till I felt the withdrawals, right? It's usually around 1 o'clock. I start to feel hungry, right? I might push it. I might wait. Okay, let me push it till 4. Don't eat nothing. By 4, I'm super hungry. I eat a salad, nothing cooked. Or I just eat some fruits, nothing cooked. I might even eat a nice salad, like a big salad. No meat on the salad, nothing cooked. Kilo pina. I just seen the order come through. Oh, it's love. And what happened was when I filled my stomach up with raw fruits or vegetables, I ate enough to be full, but I didn't feel satisfied, man. It's like I had an itch that needed to be scratched or something. Like it's like oh I ain't get that. And then whenever I would eat, even if it was just some chips, that feeling go away, man. And then that's what sold me. That's when I'm like, okay, I believe it. I believe it's true. I believe what I was trained to believe is hunger is really withdrawal from cooked foods. Then you go to researching when breakfast started. I talk about that in my book. I got a chapter called The Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner Lie. Let me ask y'all a question, man. We got 650 people on the live on TikTok, 144 on my backup page, 145 on YouTube, and 55 on Instagram. Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all to do this. The first breakfast restaurant that comes to mind, drop it in the comments. Just type it in the comments. The first breakfast restaurant that come to mind, drop it in the comments, man. It could be whatever pop up. IHOP, Denny's, IHOP. That's the Waffle House. Yeah, there go to Waffle House. McDonald's. Yep. Bob Evans. Yep. IHOP. Joe, what they do, man? McDonald's, Subway, Burger King, Denny's, the bakery. All right, so now check this. Drop the first breakfast item. Elisa House. I just seen the order come through. Elisa is love. Drop the first breakfast item. Whatever food you think for breakfast. The first thing that come to mind, drop it. Biscuit. Pancakes, watermelon, pancakes, omelet, pancakes, waffles, grits, eggs, bacon, sausage. There you go. Bacon, eggs. Why is it that that's what we think about for breakfast, though? So then this is the research that blew my mind. I forget who put me up on game. Somebody along the way. There was somebody, his name will come back to me, but there's a person that made a lot of money and did a huge marketing campaign in America to create the standard American diner breakfast. Pancakes, sausage, hash browns, grits, eggs, cheese, etc. Waffles. Notice. Everything's cooked. Oh, that looked lit with the green eyes. Gemstone, that's love. Some of that did a little, they gifted me something. My eyes turned green. It's the first time I seen that. That was dope. Everything cooked. Yeah, I know. Yeah, man. So everything cooked. You see what I'm saying? So now, think about the psychology. Now also, food is big business. So then you got to think. Maybe that's why they got us eating cooked food first quarter in the morning. Come around noon, 1 o'clock. We going through withdrawals. Joey is love. We going through the withdrawals around 1 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock. But then you got to look even more. What I started to do, and I started to think about it. Every one of my kids, when my wife was pregnant, it was like, if she wanted McDonald's, I was going to get her some McDonald's, man. If she wanted some Wendy's, I felt like I was being a good man to go and get her what she wanted. You feel me? Like, that's what a man's supposed to do. That's what I thought. But, you know what I mean? So that whatever her cravings was, you know? So most all of us was like that. Our mothers was eating, you know, these type of breakfasts, these type of menu options. The sausage, the pancakes, the hash browns starting the day, you know, getting cravings for Snickers or whatever, eating that throughout the day. Going out to eat, whatever, you feel me? The way that we eat in this country, right? So now when we're infants growing in our mother's womb, this is what we consuming, what she consuming. So now we're coming out the gate into the world already having to deal with withdrawals. If what I'm saying is true, and the studies and researchers that say that this is, I mean, this documented research, it's available online. It's public information. If what I'm saying is true, right, then that means that babies are coming into the world with withdrawals. But we don't look at it like that. We looking at it like, I'm hungry when you get that feeling in your stomach. That's why I wanted that's really the point that I wanted to make with this Pomelo. It's, I started to cut back on the cooked food and put in kind of like, when I feel these feelings now, it's like I choose to look at it like, okay, I'm going through withdrawal symptoms. Let me just settle down. Let me just deal with it. And so this is what I've noticed. It's not easy, but my energy feel off. You know what I mean? But my mind, the longer I stay consistent with cutting back on the cooked food, and now instead of like, another thing for breakfast, everybody knows we eat the cereal, and milk get pasteurized, it gets heated up. Also, the cereal is baked, that's cooked. So just look, we eating cooked food off the rip throughout the whole day. Let me ask y'all a question. We got 900 people on the live right now on TikTok. 150, 115, 252. If you've never gone, let's say 24 hours without eating, matter of fact, let's say 48 hours. If you've never gone 48 hours without eating at least one thing cooked, a piece of bread, chips, something cooked. If you've never went 48 hours without eating something cooked, drop a 4 in the comment. I remember when I realized this, I went to thinking I had never went a whole day without eating nothing cooked. When I started coming into this awareness, this was in 2020 for me. I was like, man, I don't think I ever went a whole day without eating nothing cooked. I see the 4s dropping. What's good, man?
You want to germinate the seed?
Yes. Heck yeah. Put it on. Look, show him the seed. My nephew know what I be on, man. What that is right there that you eat? A lychee. That's a lychee. You like them? I know your dad loved them lychees, man. But that's a lychee plant, and that's the seed from the middle of the lychee plant. He was like, you want me to save this so you could germinate it? You know what I'm on, man. You call me Jabez mango seeds. I got a goal to bring over 1 million fruit trees to America, and I'm not playing. I'm going to germinate this seed, and I'm going to grow that into a lychee tree. Watch. Let me get that. I'm going to put it right here on the plate. Bet that up, nephew. Appreciate you. Let me see. Get a lychee. They starting to get old. I low-key forgot they was in the fridge. This a lychee. They more red than this. These getting old, but they still good. Look, this is a lychee right here. This how it look on the middle. I love lychees. These things are real sweet. It's got a hard outside. It look like this when you open it up. Watch this. It's how a lychee look.
Lychees are so good.
So this the white. This my wife's brother's son. Shout out Alan. My brother Alan. This his son. Alan loved these. Alan put me up on these lychees a few years back. But when you eat it, it's real, real sweet. It almost tastes like fruit punch.
Daddy, remember we found that thing that was similar to it and it was brown?
Yeah. Not as sweet?
Yeah, it wasn't that sweet. It was probably probably still growing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looked exactly like that. I gotta keep this.
And look, this is the seed that's on the inside. And this how the flesh look. And it got a consistency kind of like a grape, but more firm.
I don't like the grapefruit. It tastes kind of like the grapefruit.
It tastes like a mix of fruits, man. The lychees are fire. We had the end of lychee season. It's pretty much over. You might catch a couple of lychees on the tree right now, but it's pretty much done. I love lychee season in Miami. See, I got 2 lychee seeds right here. I got some already germinating in the ground right now. I got some germinating and I got some that's in dirt. None of sprouted. This is my first time trying to grow lychees. But I know these came off a tree right over here. So anyways, where was I? I was talking about I wanted to wrap that thought process up about basically what I'm saying is what I've noticed, right? Anytime I get off the cooked food, it's a mission. I always lose weight, especially like if I go past 72 hours without eating nothing cooked. I usually lose at minimum 5 pounds. Sometimes, one time I went 72 hours only eating grapefruits. I lost 11 pounds in 3 days. But I feel like my energy be off, man. Like I'm for real. I feel like I'm going through withdrawals for real. Day 2 is always the worst for me. Day 2, every time I do it, I don't eat nothing cooked. Day 2 is the worst. Sometimes day 3 is just as bad as day 2. Like if I do a 7 day, the most I ever went without eating nothing cooked was 7 days. I do a 7-day all raw fruit and veggie cleanse where I don't eat nothing cooked for 7 days. After day 3, I start to feel better. Next time I'm gonna push it to like 10 days. I'm about to do one real soon. But the point I'm trying to make is, even though my energy be off, I have more energy though. Like I don't feel good, but I'll be more productive. I'm not tired. I'm just like I feel bothered. Like I feel hungry. Really, that's really what like I feel like. Like I just want to eat something cooked. I'm craving cooked food. What do you eat for protein? It blew my mind when I learned that all fruits and vegetables contain protein. I was programmed to believe that protein comes from meat. And if you don't eat meat, then you got to get a protein shake or something like this. All fruits and vegetables contain protein. That's just like, okay, the protein is in the meat. Well, where did the cow get it from? Cows don't eat meat. Cows eat straight vegetation. Well, where the cow getting the protein from? He getting it from the vegetation he eat. And then when we eat the cow meat, we getting secondhand protein. It's public information, man. It blew my mind when I found that out. I was like, what? Gorillas, yup. Gorillas, another one. They eating straight vegetation, them straight muscle. I love grapefruit. Yeah, it's something about them grapefruits. People be telling me sometimes doctors tell them don't eat it. Elephants and giraffes, yep. Where'd you get your necklace? Shout out my brother, King CJ Dukes. He made this for me. The way he do his jewelry is so raw. He's on TikTok, Instagram, King CJ Dukes. He's on YouTube too. But he makes custom jewelry. What he does is when he talks to you, he get a feel for what you want. And like he know my brand is Brilliant Minded and my logo is a diamond. And I told him I want a piece made and he made it for me. He just did it. Like he make pieces from what he want to make for you. You feel me? Like that's his thing. Like you're gonna have a conversation and he's gonna make you a custom piece that comes from his spirit and it's gonna be raw. Shout out my brother King CJ Dukes. You tell him, okay, I want some whatever, opal. He's making a piece with opal for me right now. But this is citrine. It's a citrine right here, man. And this thing hard. This is my favorite piece he made for me yet. This is sweet. Why does red grapefruit make me feel happy? That's a great question. I would keep eating it if it made me feel happy. That's why that's kind of like that ties back to what I was talking about with emotions. But you know, when I cut back and cut out the processed foods, I still eat processed foods, but they're minimally processed. I'm aware, like the heavily processed foods, I don't eat. Every once in a while I might, but like a couple times a year at the most, and even then I don't want to. But I gained control over my emotions, man. That's when I was able to connect the dots. There was a connection. My emotions was off whack because I was eating so many chemicals. I was in these foods. I lived so long I lived 31 years on this planet eating food without knowing what was in it. I did. I just was thinking about what I had to taste for, and I would go get whatever it was. Let me ask y'all a question. If you don't read the ingredients every time you buy something from the grocery store, or if you don't ask your server what are the ingredients in the food that you about to purchase when you're at a restaurant, drop a 4 in the comment. If you don't read the ingredients in the products that you buy from the grocery store, keep it real. Just drop a 4 in the comment, man. Every time, if you don't read the ingredients every single time, drop a 4 in the comments. I see the exclusive, what they do, upscale, what's good. See, honesty is the path to success, man. I really believe that. Carl, what they do, real success, the real, genuine, true success, man. You got to start out with choosing honesty, especially self-honesty. I talk about that in my book, you know. The day that everything changed for me, right? And I see, look at all them 4s that dropped. I was the same way. I've lived 31 years. I would shop based on what I had a taste for and based on what was on sale most of the time. And so now I shop based on what I have a taste for, but more so what the ingredients are. Are they natural or are there processed chemicals in this? So now the priority is it being natural. Second priority is, do I want to taste it? Third priority is, how much does it cost? They're all a priority, but it's in that order. You see what I'm saying? So whatever I can afford that has the best ingredients that I want to taste, that's what I'm going to get. So that's my mindset. That mindset changed my life. As before, it was, what do I feel like tasting? And then I just go get that. You know what I mean? But I was going to say something. It's going to come back to me. What are the benefits? I might have missed the first part of that question, but the benefits for what, Ashton? How do you improve sleep? That's kind of outside of my spectrum. I like to, what I'm eating. What are the benefits of what I'm eating? I don't know if you're talking about this pomelo. To me, I'm eating this pomelo because I just seen it in the store, man, and I like the way they taste. You know, you could Google search benefits of pomelo. I looked it up before, but I don't know them off the top of my head. But choosing natural foods, one of the benefits is losing weight. Being aware of the ingredients, one of the benefits is losing weight. Another one that I've experienced is control over my emotions. Another one is clarity of thought. Another one is creativity increased. And the list goes on and on. There's all type of benefits that I've experienced, man, from just choosing to be aware of the ingredients of what I put in my mouth, chewed up and swallowed. It's like a grapefruit. A pomelo like a grapefruit. But it's huge. And it's sweet. It's like a sweet grapefruit. Like when you can get a tart orange, and you got the sweet navel oranges, like how most grapefruits are tart. This is like a sweet grapefruit. This is one of my favorite fruits, man. They're in season right now, so if you're down here in the tropics, if you see it, you might want to try to grab one. They usually, when they're selling them in the store, they'll have like 3 or 4 of them. It don't be like a big pomelo section. I wish it was, but it'd be like a few of them. And just grab one of them things. If anybody got any questions about weight loss, feel free to drop it. I'm going to vibe on this live for about another 10, 15 minutes, and I'm going to get up out of here. We're doing a 50% off sale on my book. I break down the principles of how I was able to lose 100 pounds still eating the food that I like to eat. You feel me? I make it super simple to understand. I lost 100 pounds. I was still eating meat, bread, rice, pasta, snacks. Someone had brought up snacks earlier, and I definitely didn't get back to that. That reminded me. That's one of the main things that I hear, especially in my coaching when I coach people. Like, snacks is my biggest weakness. Sweets is my biggest weakness. How do you stop with the sweets? I didn't. I still eat sweets. When I want something sweet, I eat it. Like me personally, I love chocolate chip cookies. You know, I like cake, donuts. You know what I mean? You know, things like this. I love banana nut bread and like carrot cake and chocolate cake. And so the issue with my favorite dessert, if I had to pick one, would be a chocolate chip cookie with walnuts. Homemade, the real, you know. My daughter make a chocolate chip cookie, Jacinda, and it's going to be in our cookbook, the recipe for it. That's so fire to blow your mind. The problem with the chocolate chip cookies, that the switch that I had, let me ask y'all a question. What ingredient in chocolate chip cookies do you think is the biggest ingredient that's making it hard for people to lose weight or making people gain weight? What ingredient do you think in the chocolate chip cookie is the culprit for weight gain? Sugar. I see them dropping. Drop whatever ingredient you think it is. Flour. Butter. All good answers, man. Yeast. Enriched flour. I am just Dre. I see you right here. Got it on Instagram. The enriched flour, man. So the flour is the most used ingredient in a cookie. The majority of what a cookie is flour. The problem is most cookies are made with enriched flour. So what I did was started to look for cookies that was made with natural flour. They're hard to find in the grocery store. They're few and far between. So we started making them ourselves. Chocolate chip cookies ain't that hard to make, man. They got all type of recipes online. So what we did, we switched out the enriched flour, which is like a flour like this, for a natural flour. Flour like this. Wow, that's why I'm always saying read the ingredients. Make sure that it's not enriched. All right? The second one, and I seen it, is the sugar. The top two, according to Google, the top two leading ingredients that's leading people to obesity in America is high fructose corn syrup and white granulated tabletop sugar. Number 1 and number 2. The top two. High fructose corn syrup and granulated white table sugar. So the granulated sugar is similar to the enriched grain. The granulation process is when you see granulated sugar, that's specifically saying that's the process that sugar went through. It went through the granulation process. Just like this went through the enrichment process. One of the side effects of eating the granulated sugar is weight gain. Good news, you can get a sugar. Hold on, let me show you. You can get a sugar like this. Watch this. Alright. This is another one, man. Remember, we talking about chocolate chip cookies. The first switch I made was the flour. The second one was the sugar. This is the sugar that I grew up on. You see right down here it say granulated. Alright? Drop a 4 in the comment if this is sugar that you're used to seeing. The granulated white sugar. If this is what you seen growing up, you know what I mean? Drop a 4 in the comments if this is the sugar that you buy that's in your house. Drop a 4 in the comment, man. Let me see. I see it. Upscale what they do, man. Judy, what's popping? Andrew, what's good? Dottie, what's good? I see you. Carl, what's popping? Yeah. So, you know, this is all I ever had growing up. You know what I mean? My grandma, shout out my grandma Lee Peck on my mom's mom. She made the best dessert you'll ever taste in your life. This all the only type of sugar that she used. Remember, this is in the top 2 leading causes of obesity. This and high fructose corn syrup. You want to avoid these things like the plague. Good news is you can substitute it, though, for a sugar like this. This, you'll notice, is regenerative organic raw cane sugar. All right? This came from the same plant, but it wasn't put through the granulation process. Notice it's got a little more color to it. It's a kind of a brownish color to it. So, I love the way this tastes. This tastes better than this. So when we make cookies, we use this sugar. Right? And another ingredient in the cookies, sometimes you might use margarine or butter. Some ingredients call for margarine or butter, right? Margarine is one of the ones that I had to get off of. So I made the switch from margarine to butter. I talk about it in my book. Yeah, that fall into oils. You know what I mean? The margarine is heavily processed. One of the side effects of using margarine and cooking and whatever is weight gain. I switched out the margarine for the regular butter. That was the first switch that I made. The margarine for the natural butter that came from cows. And I noticed my weight was coming down. All we used to do was get the big buckets of margarine. We used to keep that on deck. So I made that switch to the butter, and weight came down. Then I made the switch from the butter to the coconut oil, and more weight came down, and I felt better. The coconut oil got a lot of benefits, man, and it tastes good. I put coconut oil on my toast, and I crack a little sea salt. It tastes almost like butter. I love the way coconut oil tastes. But with our cookies, we use a natural flour, a natural sugar, and coconut oil. So, and I've been doing this for years. I eat cookies to this day. I eat the cookies, my weight will go up, and it'll come off me by the next day. If I eat a cookie that was made with enriched flour and this type of sugar and margarine or butter, my weight go up, and it might take 2 days before I'm back even. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. The only way to know is to get on that scale and start to pay attention like that. And you'll see how your body responds to these different processed foods. If that made sense, drop some 4s in the comments, man. Might have missed it, but where's the link for your book? I appreciate that question, man. I'm doing a 50% off sale. I break down these principles in this book. I make it super simple to understand. We're doing 50% off because we hit 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. So we just hit that, and now we already up to like 230 something. Like, them numbers is just going up fast. So we celebrating this weekend with the 50% off sale. If you want to, just to show love, if you go to my homepage on all the platforms, underneath my profile picture, you'll see the finger pointing down to it, to the link. That's a discount link to our website. You click that link, it'll take you to our website. When you get to the website, you click the book. You'll see the regular price at first. Don't worry about it. When you click checkout, you'll see the price get cut by 50%. It's a discount link, and we're going to keep running this sale until midnight tonight. It was a weekend sale that we're doing, 50% off, showing love for YouTube. For achieving 200,000 subscribers. We just hit 100,000 a few days before that, and we was, you know what I mean? And then we jumped up to 200,000 like 2 days later. We got the plaque coming from YouTube right now. I'm about to have the 100,000, what they call it, the silver plaque from YouTube. I'm gassed up, man. I'm going to be doing content with it. Can you turn your camera for your book like this? So that's what the book called. Life Matters, so let's eat like it. You feel me? Look, this is how I start the book, right? And this from my spirit. So, I was thinking about titling this book, Black Lives Matter, so let's eat like it. Because I really was. That was the title. I titled the book, and I was almost done with the book, and I changed it. I was almost done writing the book, and I made the choice to change it to Life Matters, so let's eat like it. So I was thinking about titling this book, Black Lives Matter, so let's eat like it. But I changed my mind because I feel like this topic is for anybody who may benefit from it. With that being said, I want to express this. My heart is actually deeply connected to the black community here in America. In my opinion, we're the ones who need the most guidance out of all the races here. I think it's important to know that the inspiration for this book came from a deep desire to help out the African American community in this country. But interestingly enough, as the book was being created, I began to get an overwhelming feeling that the messages are not only for the black community, but for anyone in the world who is overweight, unhealthy, lacking energy, and or unhappy. That's how I started the book. And that's really what it came from. It came from a desire to want to help. You know what I mean? And so if you got to go to lose weight, man, you could, look up the Google reviews and the reviews on Amazon. We hit #1 in multiple categories on Amazon. Like I say, man, we might have passed 20,000 copies sold. This is our whole family's life is changing around this book. And now we're creating a cookbook to match the principles of this book. And it's going to have a 4-part video series attached to it. We're launching that. We're building out a weight loss community. It's a trip. But, it's like sometimes it just bugged me out. I was just trying to explain this to my wife. Like sometimes I'd be wondering, am I dreaming? Like every time I go out now, somebody recognizes me or a few people. Like me and my wife just did a little vacation, just to take a little time to ourselves because we don't really get too much time to just us. And we went out, we got a room and we spent some time just me and her for a couple of days. And everywhere we went, somebody recognized me. I was like, man, people was just thanking me and stuff. And it just is like, it's a trip, man. Like I said, I remember in 2014. I remember when this was me in 2014. It seemed like yesterday. We was living in the projects, man. It don't like time went by so fast. And when that was me, and I was because earlier in the live I was saying how I was dealing with anxiety and depression and all that. Around that time of my life, I remembered like I remember I got scared kind of when I had a thought like I wouldn't even care if I died, man. Like. I'm not afraid to die. Like, if I die, it got to be easier than this. That's how I felt. Barbara Bird. Barbara Bird. I just seen the order come through. Barbara's love. That's how I felt. Like, I just was tired. Like, life was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was stressed and depressed and full of negative thoughts and just living in the projects, man. I felt trapped. I felt crazy. Consistently. Didn't really know what I was going to do. Like, to where now, it's why I was trying to tell my wife last night, like I feel like I'm in another dimension or something. Like, I'm like, is this real? Like, when I be looking at all the comments on YouTube, it blow my mind. Like, how many people are just showing us so much love. It's like, it's a trip, man. And it's just all love and respect, and I appreciate all of it. Trust me, it's to the point where it almost don't even, it's like I'll be wondering, am I dreaming? Like, is this all real? Like, what is life? It's a trip. I appreciate that, Tracy. It's love. You look like a new man now. No, I am. Trust me. I literally am. I changed my name and everything, man. I'm definitely like, I killed my old self intentionally, and I'm different now. That's a whole nother topic. Change your words, change your mind, change your actions, change your habits, change your character. That's facts. And it takes intentionality, being intentional. You know what I mean? And I honestly believe everybody got it in them. Everybody. It's in everybody, because if I'm here, anybody could get here. Like I say, it wasn't that long ago. 2014, I mean, it's 10 years now, but it went by fast. It went by fast, man, and it could have went another route. Like, my life could have went. Just like, for example, like even just the decision to write this book. I could have procrastinated on it. Like, I could have just not did it. I could have let the fear, like, I was super nervous, like, especially when I started selling it, like when I started talking about it, like, was people going to like it? You know what I mean? Like, is people going to have the same results? Is it going to translate? Like, are they going to be able to read this book? And then is it going to make enough sense for them to actually do it? Because I know what I did worked. Like, I know it works, but is it going to translate? You know what I mean? And like, I was nervous, man. But it worked. You feel me? So that's why I say, my prayer for anybody that got a goal to lose the weight and got a goal to, better their circumstance and situation is that you achieve it. You know what I mean? But it takes discipline. It takes consistency. It takes a strategy. It takes to do different things. Like, whatever I made, I'm going to finish the live with this. When this was me, right? I'll never forget this night. We were sitting down in the bed, and my wife poked at my chest, right? And she started laughing. She was like, dang, babe, you getting titties. And she started laughing at me. I ain't gonna never let her forget that, man. She started laughing at me. She poked at my chest and started laughing. She's like, dang, babe, you getting titties, and started laughing. And when I say I was like, when I say I felt so embarrassed and I felt like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I just felt bad, like all the bad emotions. Lakeisha Sanders, I just seen the order come through. Erica, I just seen the order come through. Is love. I just started feeling crazy inside and like to the point where like I had to, like I felt all the bad emotions at once. Like I started getting real self-conscious and I started to get real what's the word, like insecure and all of that, like everything. And I remember walking into our bathroom and shutting the door, and I was looking in the mirror. And I remember when I was looking in the mirror, I was holding my stomach, like I was holding my body in a way where I didn't look as big. And I remember, and why I really believe this moment was the creator of all things putting me on a path. When I really try to analyze the moment and what happened, because it was powerful. Like I just looked in the mirror and I realized I was making myself look smaller. And then I was like, dang, bro, you lying to yourself. Like that. I remember looking at the mirror and being like, dang, bro, you lying to yourself. And then I remember I stood back and I just let my stomach out and I just sat and I looked at myself and I just relaxed my body and I looked at myself how I really looked. And then I realized I've been doing that. Every time I passed like by where I could see my reflection, I held my body where I didn't look as big. So I was lying to myself without even using words. And then I was like, that's when I snapped. And I was like, because I knew I had to stop eating fast food. And it was something about that moment. I got real with myself. Chantel, I just seen the order come through. Chantel is love. I got real with myself and I was like, yeah, I got to do something different. I'm done. I'm done with fast food. I made my mind up right then. I'm done with fast food. And I meant it. And I've been done ever since. But the point I'm trying to make is my prayer for anybody on this live that got to go to lose weight and that got to go to better their circumstance, right, is that you take on that mindset of being self-aware and being honest and taking inventory of your actions that led you to the point where you at right now, and then change the actions. Change them. Don't keep doing the same thing. Switch them up. I lost 100 pounds. I was still eating what I liked. Burgers, French fries, chips, cookies, you know what I mean? Cake, rice, pasta. I was eating all that. But I ate what? A different version. Instead of eating all of these things with the enriched flour, I went to finding ones that was made with natural flour, or I would make it myself. So I did something different and got a different result. I was tired of selling companies. I was tired of working at companies and for companies and hustling in the street, selling things that I didn't create, that weren't mine. There were other people's dreams and aspirations. And I would get out here and I would hustle and I would boom what they had going on. I was tired of that. So what I had to do, I had to create something. So I wrote a book. I did something different. And then I put all that energy into what I was doing, what I created. I did something different. So, I hope this live helped, man. Really everything changed for me when I switched my mindset to loving myself more than the love that I have for the convenience of unhealthy food options. I fell in love with convenience, and as I look around this country, a lot of us, I could see it in other people the same way I kept it real with myself, and even to this day, I'm still in love with convenience. And I'm still breaking out of that programming. Like, that's why they call it a convenience store. Like, it's just easy to just think, there's already enough on our plates. Like, me and we got 5 kids, man. It's money, we got to make the money. We got to make plans. We got to take care of the kids. If this situation come up with this kid, this situation come up with this kid. It's like it's nonstop all the time. So it's like, then on top of that, we got to think about what's for dinner every day. We got to cook it, or we got to go buy it, so it's convenient to go to the convenience store. Tara Harper, I just seen the order come through, is loved. It's convenient to just go right to the spot where and grab the one that's on sale and throw it in the basket and move around and get to the next thing that need to be done. But it's not as convenient to go, especially when you're in the beginning of this path, choosing natural options over processed fake options. We got to do what? Read the ingredients. So now it's going to take longer to shop. You know what I mean? It's going to take, it's not as convenient. It's going to take longer. You might have your taste buds geared up for a certain thing. Like you might want to do spaghetti tonight. And you go to the spaghetti session, Scott Niblock. I just seen the order come through. Scott is love, King. You might go to the noodles to get some spaghetti noodles. And you get over there and you read all the packages in the store in the noodle section. And they don't got none made with natural flour. Now you like, dang. You was geared. You went and you got the natural tomato sauce. You went and you found some natural bread. You went and got the other stuff you needed. Now you go and the last thing you needed was the noodles, and they ain't got them. So now you like, dang, it'll be convenient to just grab the noodles. You know what I'm saying? But I love myself more than the love that I have for that convenience. So now I'm thinking outside the box. Well, let me look at the other cuts of noodles. Let me look at they might have the penne pasta. They might have the macaroni noodles. Let me look at the other noodles and see if there's anything else that's made with natural flour. Oh, bomb, here goes some penne pasta that's made with natural whole grain flour. Whole wheat flour. So I'm like, okay, bomb, let me do spaghetti with the penne pasta instead of the spaghetti noodles. I was geared up for the noodles with the twist I could eat in the web. But I love myself more than the love that I have for that convenience. And I love myself more than the love that I have for the way food tastes. So when I had that type of mindset, it make it easier for me to stay consistent and choose better than I used to choose. And if you got a goal to lose weight, that's my prayer for you. My brothers and sisters, I hope this live helped. Like I say, we're doing a 50% off sale on my book. If you want to grab a copy, I got the discount link in my bio. We're celebrating 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. YouTube is all love. If you go to my homepage, underneath my profile picture, you'll see the finger pointing down to the discount link. I'm going to keep that link up till midnight tonight. When you click that link, it'll take you to the checkout or to our page. When you click the book that you want to get, you'll see the regular price at first. Don't worry about it. When you click checkout on the checkout page, it automatically get cut by 50%. The links that we have up are the discount link. My brothers and sisters, I love y'all. Prayers up, blessings up.
Hey, do you want your life mask to be like a shirt to get washed and white?
Nah, keep that out. If it look clean, keep it out. I'll wash that separate.